Okay, so we have few more syntax that we need to understand with respect to destructuring. So continuing with object destructuring, it is also possible, yeah. Is it possible to, just like array, can I use a rest? Can I use a triple dot to collect the rest of the options? Assume I'm only extracting title like we did, but I want these remaining two properties into a new object. Yes, that is also possible. If I just say triple dot and the name of the object, then the remaining will actually come into a totally new object called rest. Okay. Yes. So uh, what about this syntax? Yeah. What about this syntax? Will it work? Will it work? I am not writing let here. We are writing let or const while destructuring, and this is specifically with respect to object destructuring. This problem was not there earlier. Yeah. The reason being because of these curly brackets. So this curly bracket, they expect, you know, expect some kind of declaration should be there, either let or const. We have to use one of them. Now, if I don't write and assume like I've defined all this variable, and now I'm trying to do a destructure. You see, we get an error, unexpected token. So what it means? So in case of object destructuring, you need to mention the variable type, and you need to create those variable there only. But if you remember in the array destructuring, that was not the case. I mean, it did work without even not writing them. For example, you see this syntax here. We wrote user.name, user.surname. So here it is not expecting it, the declaration to start in that or to be written in the same line. But object, since it is in a case of object destructuring, so the compiler will misunderstand having just an empty or an object on the left hand side. That is the reason it is required to, you know, we should have either let or const. Yeah. So why? Because it treats a different syntax actually. Which is the syntax? So it treats this as a block actually. So in JavaScript we have a block, so this is called a block. We can have one curly bracket started and then another curly bracket, and this is called as a block. Like we have for loop, if condition, every each of those conditional statements have a block. Yeah, this is actually just a block. So it is going to misunderstand with that syntax. Yeah, it will treat that, okay, you are writing some lines you are going to we are going to have rather than destructuring. Okay, so this we should be cautioned about. Then moving on, we have something called nested destructuring. Both in case of arrays as well as objects, this option is allowed. What is allowed? Nested destructuring allowed. So here, let's say I have, yeah, let me show you this example itself. So what we are talking about nested destructuring. One compiler slash JavaScript. I would like to do a nested destructuring. I would like to extract some value which is there inside. For example, now options is object. I want to extract width. How do I extract? I just want only the width from this options object. What do I
Options
want?
dot size
Option
dot
dot size dot width.
So one option is I can say simply options dot size. Correct? If I say options dot size, then this is an object I am restructuring that has a width, so I'll get the width. But what if I want to destructure multiple things? At that time, I would like to extract width. I would like to also extract items in that case. Yeah. So in that case, what we should do, we say size. and then we again have to write this is an object because the size has width and height. Getting it? Almost same syntax as what is written here. Size, in that we have width and height. So first options will extract things into a size. Size we are destructuring into width and height. Now same works in case of arrays also. Let's say array, I can have a nested array also, correct? I can have 1, 2, 3, and I would like to extract this into a variable, or I would like to extract them into a separate variable. So this is what is nested destructuring. Yeah. So objects and arrays are also, I mean, we end up having nested values. See the syntax: size, colon, width, height, then items. Yeah, item 1, comma item 2. Yeah, let's say, yeah, even that is also possible in the same line. Array if you want to extract them. And this is if the value is not present. Okay, all right. So with this, I think let's understand the last thing with respect to destructuring assignment. Yeah. So that is smart function parameters. What it is? Smart function parameters. So what we are saying is, so yes, let's say I have a function called show menu. Yeah. And this has got many parameters. And what if some of them are optional? Okay. It may have width, height, and a title, and so on. Yeah. So what they're saying now, so in that case, what you do instead of passing like an ordered value like this. See, problem with this lengthy syntax and some of this optional is, so let's say if width is optional, I have to while calling, I have to send undefined, because we know that these are all positional parameters, which means whatever I pass here, that will be substituted to the first variable. Whatever I pass second, that will be substituted to the second variable. But what if in my function call I don't have width and height, I want to only pass items? Then I end up adding undefined as values to fill in for width and height. But in this, this we see like, okay, not that good syntax. Yeah, and also a bit confusing. So that is where, for these kind of syntax, the destructuring can actually help you. Destructuring can make things, easy, look easy. So now what we are doing, instead of passing, you know, title, width, height as a separate parameter, we can actually pass in as an object. And here we kind of put a destructuring syntax. At the receiving time, we put a destructuring syntax. So that whatever properties are there, that will be correspondingly assigned, because destructuring, that's how the object destructuring works. Whatever is not there, it will have a default value of undefined. And also it is possible to even give you know, a default value while destructuring. All right. And this kind of syntax we use, let's say I'm writing a component. Yeah, I'm writing a React component. So, and there we would like to have the props. Yeah, we receive the props, correct? So we receive the props, for example, a person, which gets an object. So we know JavaScript. I mean, we know component will receive, yeah, whatever properties, and all of them will be in this standard object. Now, so since we have the advantage of destructuring, we can actually write two curly brackets here, and here also we can do a destructuring. Yeah, here also directly we can do a destructuring. Name, email, age, because this is an object. Props is an object. Yeah, you see, this is one more usage of destructuring. If I know that this particular component or a function is receiving an object, yeah, in the function parameters at the time of receiving itself, I can take advantage of destructuring. Now I don't have to again write everywhere props dot name. props.age, props.email. No, no, not required. Now we have simple name, age, and email. Yeah. So because of this destructuring, we can actually write a very short syntax. Yeah, we can make a lot lean component syntax. Yeah, even especially in functions also. So both in functions and components, yeah, at the time of receiving an object, it is possible to destructure like this. This makes our life bit easy. Okay, so this is what is actually destructuring both array as well as object. So any questions for me on this?